Boom, 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 boom. Chickadee chanker, lads and lasses. What's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here. Excuse me. Oh, goodness. Just inhaled some of my own saliva there, guys. It's not a good start to the show. That is not a good start. Hang on. Oh, dear. Goodness me. That was a bad start to the show right there, folks. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? It's bloody hell. It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little stream for you lads and lasses. I just literally inhaled my own saliva there, guys. Crikey. Hope you're doing well tonight, guys. Thank you very much for joining us and getting here in the stream. We've got plenty to get into tonight. We're here for the transfer news of the day, Sunday evening show. Sorry there was no show earlier on this afternoon, but I had a couple of things going on. But here I am right now tonight, to discuss all the latest goings on. The first thing we need to address is this. J United has become a member of the Sausage Soldiers. Dudes, can we get some mad love in the live chat? Get your favourite emoji in there to welcome in J United. J lad, thank you so much for becoming a member of the Sausage Soldiers, lad. That's very much appreciated. Everyone, rain down the love there for J United. Thank you so much, pal. And also, do us a favour and smash the like button at the start of this show. Give us a big thumbs up. You know it makes sense. Drop a little like on it. It's free to like the video. So smash that thumbs up and get yourself in there raw. Also, welcome in everybody. Berber, you absolute hero. What's going on? Great stream earlier, by the way, mate. Doing some Alien Isolation. I was pooing myself, mate. Rajat V, Mal Tong, hey, what's going on, bro? Mal, what's happening there, lad? What's this, a dupe account or something? Rajat V, Colin, Johnny, what's happening? J United, Aaron, Kingslayer, Sanjay, Berber, how you doing there, lad? Mary Homeyard, the Hoop Man, Andrew, Rajat J, hello everyone. Yes, Jay, thanks for becoming a member, mate. I appreciate that. Aaron, Malps. Guys, everyone who's in here, thank you so much for joining, every single one of you. Travis, what's going on, lad? Great thumbnail yesterday, mate, for the post-match reaction, lad. Get in there, you don. Gungshi, what's happening? Cockney Red, DZ, Nick S, Henry, Pete Morris. Gungshi, you absolute hero. I hope you're having a great day, mate. Open your pokey gift, lad. Matthew Smith, Zayn Miyasi. How are you doing, Zayn Miyasi? Welcome in the stream. Zayn Miyasi getting in here filthily raw. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Well, we better get it out the way first of all. Listen, I know United are not really in a position to laugh at anyone after losing to the Spuds yesterday, but can we just for a second laugh at Chelsea, please, guys? I had to really force that one, guys, because obviously United was shit yesterday, and we can't really laugh, but I just felt like we should probably laugh at them a little bit, guys, because they are fucking shite, aren't they? And obviously they have just spent a shitload of cash, like Zamiassi says here, to be fair. Chelsea have spent a shitload of cash in all. 115 million on Caicedo. Fuck me, I thought they spent money on Carlton Palmer the way that twat played, mate. Fucking unbelievable. He was bang bloody average, wasn't he? Moises Caicedo, fucking hell, guys. Oh my goodness me, what an absolute crumble melt today. Not a debut to remember for Moises. Awful signing, guys. No, I think he's going to be class for them. He's obviously a great player, but he had a shitter of a debut. Absolute shitter of a debut, and West Ham got themselves into a 3-1 win against Chelsea Scum. What an absolute Billy Bottle job by the Blue Scum. Get in there, my son. Things you love to see. Chelsea bottling it since 2003. Or actually, it's not the case, is it? That's when they actually got decent, because they spent bloody money and cheated their way to the top. Before that, they were picking cup team, and that's all. But Zane says Chelsea and United spent nearly $2 billion over the years and don't have a decent striker. I mean, you're absolutely right, Zane. We have got one waiting in the wings, though, ready to come in and hopefully do the job for us. A young player by the name of Rasmus Højlund, who's hopefully going to be a Billy Big Bollocks around the gaff. Zane says Cameron directing Alien Isolation would be a true sequel to Aliens. You're reading a bit too deep into this, mate. I was just merely saying that I was in Berber's stream watching Alien Isolation, and you're reading a bit too deep into this, lad. But fair play to you, though. Would Cameron even do another one of those, mate? Would Cameron ever even possibly bring himself to do another Alien movie? And just like in the same question, would Arsenal ever bring themselves to winning another Premier League title ever again? It's been 20 years, my son. Will that ever happen? Zane, thanks for getting in here with that, by the way. Hey, Rushmano, he says, good job, Chelsea hasn't given these players an 8-year deal. Get in there. That's it. They're stuck with the shite for a full-on 8 years. Now, I actually do think he'll be a very good player for them. It's not like we haven't wasted a bit of cash this summer as well. I do have my doubts about Mason Mount, and always have done. That's nothing new. You guys know that. If you've been watching this channel for years, I've been slagging him off for years, saying he's well overrated. Don't really know what he sort of does for us. That's my issue. Like, how does he really improve the starting 11? That's what I was saying when we were signing him. That's what I've always said, basically. I do think he is a good player. I think he's industrious. I think he will give us squad depth. But does he really improve the starting 11? Does he get in there ahead of the likes of Bruno Fernandes or the likes of Casemiro? Or is he even able to play alongside Casemiro? These are big questions. He's not a true number 6. He's a number 8. So you've got somebody who's trying to do something there that's not really his forte. And therefore, it's a shit show, my friends. So, it's clear that we need to sign another player, isn't it? Hello there, Luke and Henry and everyone. Yeah, exactly, Henry. Right, guys, by the way, 200 legends already in here tonight. Make sure you do drop a little thumbs up on this video as you join us. Hit the likes on the video. That will boost us up on the algorithm and give us a nice little cheeky like spike. And also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We now have got 73.3k subscribers, so we're on the march to 73,500. If you're new to the show or on catch up later, make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the old bell icon for notifications. Nice one. Jarvis Cocker, how you doing, my son? What's going on, lad? I hope you're doing well tonight as well. Good to see you. Oh, fair play to you, Kate Cadet, lad. He really doesn't like Zane, does he, this guy? Anyway, look, everybody's entitled to their say around here. Arsenal scum is included as long as they're respectful, you know what I'm saying? Right, anyway, so... Right, let's just get into the latest transfer news, guys. That's what I'm here to discuss. Obviously, we discussed the fallout of the absolutely gash-tastic performance that we had against Spurs. We've done that ad nauseum. We did it last night in last night's transfer news show, and we did it after the game. And I'm not going to get into it again. It was shite. We've got a lot of problem areas to work on. I think maybe the biggest problem area, obviously the striker is a massive problem area as well. But one of the big problem areas is that midfield. And it's kind of wrong, really, that we have got such an issue in midfield when we spent 60 million on a Mount, and we have spent a lot of money on a midfielder. Does it improve our start 11 that much? Questionably. Arguably, no. So that's the problem there. I still think we need a proper number 6 to go alongside Casemiro. Surely Ten Hag's got his eyes on Sofyan Amrabat here and is looking to obviously get this guy in here. And that would be lovely if we can get him in. At this moment in time, let me give you the latest information on AMRABAT. So we are still reportedly in for Sofyan Amrabat as of right now. Let me get some of the news up on the screen. Still reportedly in for this guy. It's just a matter of us actually going for a bid for the guy, you know. But Manchester United remain in the race and will almost certainly make their attempt before the end of the summer market to sign AMRABAT. Various different sources are reporting, and we need him. We desperately need him. I think that game has made that so apparent that we have to bring this guy in immediately just to give us somebody to play alongside Casemiro. Do you know what? Casemiro's actually looking bad at the moment, and he's a class player, and he's definitely not a bad player. He's a brilliant player. You know why he's looking bad? It's because he's trying to do the job of two midfielders there, essentially, and he's got no bloody pace. He's a really fantastic player, wonderful technique, great attitude, great mentality, great combativeness, brilliant passing, tackling, all the rest of it. But he's not the quickest, and he's also, you know, not two men. What we really need is to have somebody alongside him who helps with a sort of double pivot, who's going to give us, you know, a solid base to build upon and protect that back four properly, and also just allow us to then transition and play forward properly. That's where Sofyan Amrabat comes into the mix, because Sofyan Amrabat's the right sort of midfielder to play alongside Casemiro, I believe, in a midfield too, with, say, Bruno Fernandes in front or Mason Mount in front. But having Mason Mount maybe dropping a bit deeper and trying to, you know, be a box-to-box sort of player and cover that space, and it's isolating Casemiro there. And I think it's too easy for teams to play through our midfield there, even with a colossus like Casemiro there. Casemiro is getting a bit older. He does have a little bit of pace issue anyway, and it's a bit much to ask him to hold down the fort all on his own there. So I think if you're playing like a 4-1-4-1, or even just having a player alongside him who's not specifically a defensive-minded midfielder, it's going to cause issues. So in my humble opinion, we will solve a lot of the issues just by getting Sofyan Amrabat in the side, because he's that type of player that would be able to play alongside Cassie. I agree. There you go, Howard. He says Casemiro's alone most of the times have to be doing too much. Need a player like Kroos. Yes, I agree with you. We certainly need somebody to go alongside who can play those penetrating balls up the pitch. That sounded wrong, didn't it? But it didn't mean it to. And obviously get the get the ball and keep it. We need to keep hold of the ball. We were hot potatoing it around against Spuds. It's no good. Okay, we were the away side, and obviously their manager has got them to play like a decent sort of possession brand of football already early doors after 2 pigging weeks or 5-6 weeks, however long he's been in there. You know, it's really a credit to what they've done, and I guess a discredit to what we're doing at the moment. One thing I really don't like is how unconditioned the players look, how unfit we look, considering we've had that pre-season, which was an abomination, and Ten Hag's known to be a fitness fanatic in terms of getting his teams whipped into shape and being fit. I don't like how lacking in conditioning we've seen throughout the game. As the game went on, we just got more weaker and more tired. We didn't seem to be able to keep up with Spuds, and that's just wrong. We should be super fit. We should be able to, have that conditioning already. So I do think there's fitness concerns at the moment with this squad. Nice one. Gungshi says we've got 100 likes. Keep hitting the likes, guys. Smash a thumbs up on it if you haven't done so. Hey there, Chris Koo. We got a gifted membership here from Crazy Joe Davola. Thank you, Crazy Joe, for getting in here raw, lad. City scummer extraordinaire. But he's gifting out a membership on the channel, mate. Thank you very much indeed there, Crazy Joe. Let's get some mad love in there for the guy. Appreciate you there, Crazy Joe Davola. He's giving it to Ryan. Ryan has become a member courtesy of Crazy Joe there. He'll be loving that. He says, cheers, buddy, GG. Hey, well done there for getting it. And thank you so much to Crazy Joe Davola. I really do appreciate that, my son. Go on, lad. Let's get some love in there for Crazy Joe. Thanks so much. So I think there's big problems in our midfield. It's one thing... that's one area that we're struggling. Of course, the other area is up top there. Rashford's just not a number 9. He's not a striker. He's really good out on the left wing, but he's not a striker. I think you've got to, even if nobody else is available necessarily in the next game, you've got to drop old Rashi from the number 9 spot. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you agree with me. Pop him back over the left wing for a game. I don't think it's actually his fault that he's playing so shite, to be honest. I just think he's being asked to do something that he's not really truly adept at. He might be all right there, but he's certainly, not a number 9. He's a winger. And so you're asking him to do something that's not his forte. Now, if you actually put somebody else up top there who's maybe... Well, the problem is we don't really have anybody that's really that well accustomed to playing number 9. Yes, you can put Martial there. I think the same can be said for Martial. If you look at Martial's Man United career, he was better out wide as well. And if you look at Sancho, well, Sancho's, up to this point, historically a winger. Yes, he can play through the middle, but... he's not exactly done anything ever there, has he, really? So you've got those two players to choose from, but you've got to put Rashford in his prime position, I think, and then through the middle, give it to Tony next game. Tony Martial maybe might be a better option, because at least he has played there a lot longer and can maybe do some things there. And I don't rate Tony, just to be clear. But who else have we got up there? If Rasmus Højlund is not back and not fit, we've got to play somebody else. So it's got to be between Martial and Højlund and Sancho. Let's just ask the live chat very quickly. You've got the choice there of playing a few different players at number 9 for the next game against Forest. Let's ask the chat, who would you like to see play through the middle at the top of the pitch, leading Manchester United's line? Who is it, guys? Let us know. For me, it's definitely not Rashford. So I'd give it either Martial or even Sancho, to be fair, just because at least we're putting Rashford in his favoured position. He can make some things happen. Jonathan says drop Rashford full stop. Teach him. Interesting. Danny says Sancho. Sancho says Colin. Bruno Fernandes. Oh, okay, right. Maybe like some sort of false 9 thing. Maybe we could do that with Mount as well. Martial says Lewis. Jaden says Rajat. Martial says Chloe. Weghorst. Tony Martial. Maguire. Tony is good. He's just unfit and inconsistent. Well, yes, he is. Sometimes he is good. That's true. That's where the inconsistency comes in, and he's always bloody injured. Definitely Jarvis Cocker. 100% agree with you, mate. We need to sign this guy. We need to sign somebody up there. We need to bring in a proper forward player who's actually able to, do the job. Somebody that's their position, rather than just trying to put all these square pegs in round holes. You know what I'm saying? Boniface says Sancho. Bruno up front says Jay. Hey, better late than never, J-Dub lad. Welcome in. Sancho Martial has to leave, says Danny B. Dennis Law. McTominay. Okay, fair enough. We're scraping the barrel a little bit here. But the point I'm making is we obviously need to sign at least 2 more players in this transfer window, at least. Really, we want to do even more than that. But we spent a few million. We spent quite a lot of money, somewhere in the region of 170 million on a few players. And they're good players. I hold my opinion about Mount, though. Still, I think that's a bit of a gash signing when you look at what we actually need and what we could have done with. I'd have rather have spunked that 60 million on another great forward or a different sort of midfielder, somebody that can play alongside Casemiro to a better ability. So the Mount signing is a bit of a conundrum for me, but time will tell on that one. Ten Hag's got him for a reason, obviously, but the pressure's on Ten Hag to get these players to perform. But anyway, we need clearly at least 2 more signings, guys. 2 more signings by the absolute minimum. I mean, how many signings do you think we need in the live chat? Let us know. Let us know. Have a look on the right there, see what people say. Some people probably say 11. But I think we need at least 2, ideally 4 signings. Probably a defender, 2 midfielders, and a striker coming in. But we won't get that. We'll probably get 2, but we need at least 2. We need a striker, a specialised striker, and we need a number 6. That is what we need to make Manchester United to a reasonable standard. And it's not just as simple as, get those players and it will work. It still needs the team to step up. Some of these players were absolutely bollockless in that second half. And their conditioning was gash. And it just wasn't anywhere near the standard. So they've got to step up big time. And they needed a slap, to be honest. But certainly, we need a number 6 and we need a number 9. Which equals 69, dudes. If you get that, then everybody's happy, aren't they? Oh, yeah. If we can get that, it'll be all right. So let's just say Sofian Amrabat is massively on the agenda. And then, like Jarvis said, that Leonardo would be pretty sweet. Or just a proper number 9 or a proper striker, that we can get in here would be lovely. So let's just talk about the Amrabat situation a little bit more. And there's not much more movement going on other than United are still in the race for Amrabat. Liverpool is seemingly sniffing around him as well. So here's a report to suggest that Liverpool are also in the mix. So this is just from Nacional. Obviously, take it with a massive pinch of guff. But it says Liverpool are very close to sealing a deal for Amrabat. He's 1 step away from joining Liverpool. I mean, this is just bollocks, this story. But at the same time, the longer you leave this dormant, the longer and more likely it is that these other teams are going to go in for him. And certainly I could see a reality where United don't go in for this guy and he ends up going to the Scousers. Of course, he's holding out for Manchester United. He wants United. United's a much better club than shitty Liverpool, especially because we're not playing in gash Thursday night football in the Europa League. And Ten Hag with his project to United, it's great. But if we don't go in for him, then we're going to be leaving it, aren't we? For other teams like Liverpool to go in and have a cheeky little offer and try to get him. So, yes, we need to bring in Sofian Amrabat as soon as possible. That would solve a lot of our midfield issues. But then what's really frustrating about the whole Mason Mount signing, right, is if we sign Sofian Amrabat, Mason Mount is basically demoted to a rotation player. Do you think it's good value for Manchester United to have spent £60 million on Mason Mount to be essentially another backup? What do you reckon? I mean, obviously it's a no. Obviously not. That's crazy money. We could have used that for a proper first teamer. So if you think about what we're trying to do with the side, crikey, I mean, if we do get Sofian Amrabat, yes, it's good to have depth, though. It is good to have depth. But we already had that sort of backup depth beyond Bruno Fernandes in his position. Yeah, Mason Mount could go play that position for us as well and be fine, I'm sure. That's at least his position. But we already had some depth there. We already had people like Donny van der Beek and Christian Eriksen and people who can play there if needs be. It's good to have quality and depth, though, but Mason Mount doesn't really bring you all that much quality and depth. That's what I'm saying. So we spent 60 million on this guy, and it doesn't really add up for me. We should have maybe utilised that money better and gone and got somebody else who really does help the starting 11, because, look, obviously it's very early for Mason Mount. Let's not write him off. To be fair, I wrote him off 2 years ago when he wasn't even a United player. But let's not write him off. He does need time from Ten Hag to do his thing, and obviously under Ten Hag to try and be a success at United. But given that number 7 shirt already, too much too soon for the guy. Too much too soon. He's got written all over him a player who's going to be a bit of a flop at United. I hope I'm wrong when I say that, but you see some of the signings that United have made over the years. People like Pogba, people like Maguire who come in for big money. And there's just too much hype around him. And this one's a sort of another one. There's another one, Chelsea laughing all the way to the bank on that one, but we spent a bit of money on him. I like our other signings at the moment, but Mason Mount, what's that all about? He's going to give us squad depth, sure, but £60 million, £60 million for squad depth. That same £60 million spent on 2 different midfielders would have got you the same squad depth, and maybe twice as much. You could have maybe gone and got Sofian Amrabat and say Ryan Gravenberch for that amount of money, or somewhere close to that amount of money. So it is a little bit of a conundrum, that one, guys. I mean, let's ask the chat, do you think that the Mason Mount signing for £60 million is going to prove to be a good signing for United? I'm not trying to, paint a narrative of, write him off already, because we shouldn't. We should give him a chance, absolutely. But what do you think? Do you think he will be? Hey, thank you very much, you for getting in here with a super chat, lad. Come on, he says, hey, pig, Chopper Harris would fix it, mate, says you viewed. Chopper Harris, you say, really? Well, he's a Chelsea scummer, isn't he? So, I wouldn't want him to fix it, mate. Chelsea scum vibes, lad. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather Chopper Reed to come and fix it for us. You know what I'm saying, mate? That's right. Struth, mate. Have you seen the size of it? You know what I'm saying? You got a bit of money, mate. You know what I mean? I'd rather Chopper Reed on the case, mate. Anyway, lots of no's coming in the live chat. A few yeses. You're bang on big. Well, I don't know if he's absolutely gash, but he's not exactly what we needed. That's the key. We spent 60 million on a player who's not exactly what we needed. So we could have got our depth elsewhere, is what I'm saying, for less money. He's just a squad depth midfielder, in my opinion, so we could have got that money elsewhere. Berber says, would rather have spent it on a forward towards a Kane/Ramos. Now, that is a great comment, which I stand by. 100% agreed. We could have gone and got something like a Harry Kane, couldn't we? It's more than half of a Harry Kane transfer. That's a significant amount. You just got to find the rest. You don't think he's not the right fit? It's a problem there. Hey, Luan France, how you doing? Welcome in as well. Amrabat won't start, says United. Who's he not starting ahead of, though? That's the thing. If you think about who is there to challenge him for the starting places, it's Mason Mount, who, let's face it, is not a proper number 6 or somebody that can really, to a high standard, play alongside Casemiro, I don't think, in that midfield. So you're leaving Casemiro isolated. So you won't get the best out of Casemiro by having Mount play alongside him. And even if he is alongside him, he's not the most adept. He's not the most defensive-minded midfielder. He's a good midfielder. He's better being played slightly higher up, probably in the Bruno Fernandes role. But we've got Bruno Fernandes to play in the hole. So it's a really strange one, that. It gives us good depth. But beyond that, I see Sofyan Amrabat being able to get in there ahead of the likes of, all the other midfielders we've got apart from Cassie and Bruno. So he could get in there ahead of Mount, if you ask me, because he gives us that solidity to play alongside Casemiro that we need. And then he's getting obviously in there ahead of people like McTominay and Donny. So I don't see how he would be out of the team. I think he probably would start. Previously, I've said on this channel a couple of weeks ago that if we signed Sofyan Amrabat, he would probably be coming in to play a rotationary role because we've just spent 60 million on Mount. But it's a performance-based game. And if you don't perform and if you're not right for the system, then, sorry, you're gonna be demoted. So Mason Mount, just based on his first few performances, and we don't have a lot to go on here, but his first couple of Premier League performances and in pre-season, been very underwhelmed by him. Very underwhelmed by him. So Amrabat will probably take Mount's place in the side, and he can play alongside Casemiro, and then we would have Bruno Fernandes in front, or Mount in front, I suppose, but obviously Bruno is just a better player. So let's have a look at the latest, what Gary Neville has said. Gary Neville has said this on the whole matter of what Ten Hag needs and what Ten Hag wants. So let's just have a little cheeky look at this. By the way, once again, guys, if you're getting in here, smash a like on this video. Keep hitting the subscribe button. We're on the march to 73.3k subs. Do give us a cheeky little subscribe if you're new. Get your thoughts and opinions in there. Right, so Gary Neville said this on the matter about what sort of Ten Hag wants and maybe what Ten Hag needs, and I agree entirely, really. He said, Gary Neville said, Eric Ten Hag wants a number 6 who can play alongside Casemiro, and right now, the club can't sell players to fund him. If they look at the first 2 weeks, they have to fund him or there will be problems, big problems. What is clear is that Ten Hag does not want to go back to Scott McTominay. Yeah, who would want to go back to Scott McTominay? That would be shite. He is literally awful when it comes to playing that sort of a role. I prefer Scott McTominay further up the pitch as well if you're going to play him anywhere, because he's big and mobile. He might get you some goals, but from a defensive point of view, he doesn't offer you enough there. He's not solid enough. So he can piss off, to be honest. But we're desperately looking for number 6, aren't we? It's really sad to say that the season's already started. There's 10 days left of the window, and we still haven't got all the pieces that we need to this jigsaw. What a pathetic window so far by United. Absolute guff. It's a 2 out of 10 from me, Carol. What are you giving it now? We do this every few days just to see how the window's shaping up. Rate this window now. Maguire's still here. McTominay's still here. De Gea went. We signed a new goalkeeper. I think Onana looks great, but is that where we need to spend the money? We've bought Mason Mount. He's a fucking Chelsea reject and looks gash in our system. And we've got an injured striker in so far who could be really good, but he's only 20. And we haven't got the players that we need. to really do the business for the season. What a gash transfer window so far, guys. It was shaping up really nice. Yeah, look at all these low numbers coming in. It was shaping up really nice, and it's tailed off massively. What a piss-poor transfer window so far. But I agree with what Gary Neville says here, that Ten Hag's looking for that number 6. He's looking for someone like Sofyan Amrabat to come in and play alongside Casemiro, who's got a bit more defensive stability, who's got that vision of forward play, you know, to be able to ping those passes from deep and keep hold of the ball as well. We need to be able to keep hold of the ball a lot better than we've shown in the first couple of games. So somebody like that would be brilliant. Scott McTominay's definitely not the answer. At the moment, we are trying to get rid of Scott McTominay and trying to get rid of Donny van der Beek, but crikey, it's like, I don't know, it's like having a garage sale and all you've got to sell is dog shit. You know what I mean? Like, okay, fair enough, there might be some absolute weirdo who wants to come along and buy some of this dog shit you got on your wallpapering table, but most people are going to walk on by pulling a horrible face. You know what I mean? That's kind of like what's going on at United. We've got not very the best players to sell, which is why the reason we should have accepted West Ham's offer. By the way, to see James Ward-Prowse today, fucking hell. James Ward-Prowse got a couple of assists, didn't he? I mean, you know, it's like, it's not all about the money you spend. Evidently by that game today, if you look at Chelsea and Moises Caicedo cost 115 million, West Ham were going to go in for Scott McTominay. I bet they're happy that they didn't now, because they signed James Ward-Prowse and he's had a good start to them, and he's a decent player, and he's 30 million. That's value. So they've not overspent, yet they've probably got a player who's better than Scott McTominay in a lot of ways. So, you know, certainly he's got the ability to create some chances for you, and he can score from free kicks and all the rest of it. He's a great set piece taker. So they've actually got themselves probably a better player than Scott McTominay for 30 million. I think we will rue the day we didn't accept that offer from West Ham for Scott McTominay when we had the chance. Crikey, they were foolish enough to offer us £30 million for Scotty McShotbag, and we turned him down. That will cost us. That will cost us. We could have got rid of him. They've gone and got themselves a better player, I think, in general. Not a massive, I'm not saying Ward-Prowse is world-class or amazing or anything, but I'm just saying they chose to spend their 30 million on a different player who probably will be better for their system and their team. So, you know, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Chelsea today spent 150 million on Caicedo and they got absolutely overrun. They're gash. So it's not all about how much you spend. Just because we spent 60 million on Mount doesn't mean he's the right player for us or the right for the system or going to fit us. Ten Hag bought him though, and it's going to fall down to Ten Hag how this guy performs and does. At the moment, there's a couple of maybe potential floppers going on at United. Anthony is another Ten Hag signing who's not really living up to it at this moment in time. He needs to man the fuck up, doesn't he? Because he's looking absolutely gash at this minute in time. Right, okay, so definitely we need a number 6, guys. Obviously, the striker position is something that we have to address also. We've got to go and get maybe that Leonardo. Sounds like a good cheap option. I don't know why we have to go so cheap. You see other teams acquiring lots and lots of players, spending lots and lots of money. I don't see why United, one of the most successfully commercial football clubs in the world, has to go and hunting around in the bargain bin. It pisses me off, but it seems that's where we are because of the shithouse Glazers, guys. And don't forget it. Shithouse Glazers out. I take a minute just to talk about the shithouse Glazers for a second. Fuck the Glazers, guys. Get them out of this football club immediately. They're absolute scum on earth. Let's discuss this for a second. Before we do, though, Gungshi, thank you very much indeed for gifting us out 5 memberships on the channel, you bloody hero. Guys, get some mad love in the live chat for the Don Consigliere of the live chat, Mr. Don Gungshi, one of the longest serving legends of this live chat. He's been here for absolute yonks. And he's an absolute hero, and he's constantly supporting the channel. He's done it again. 5 members on the channel there made by the Don. Thank you so much to you, my son. He has given it to Done and Dusted, Tito Harvey, Chris Barker, James Whelan, and Roberto Kennedy. 5 new members courtesy of the Don, Mr. Gungshi. Thank you so much for that, Gungshi. That's very generous of you, dude. I really do appreciate that, mate. Never take it for granted. Thank you so much for all the support over the years, you Don. And welcome aboard to the 5 new Bacon Brigadiers. To the 5 new Bacon Brigaders. Thank you so much there, Gunks. You're an absolute star, man. Hey, 0793, how you doing, you legend? I hope you're good today. Rushy says James Ward-Prowse is an easy 7 out of 10 most games. McAverage isn't close to that. Yeah, precisely. I'm with you. I'm not saying Ward-Prowse is a world beater, but he's a good standard player, and he's the same price as Scott McTominay. Who would have you chosen, guys, in the live chat out of James Ward-Prowse and Scott McTominay if you're West Ham? Who would you have chosen for £30 million? They cost the same. Or they would have cost the same if we accepted the offer. So who would you have chosen out of those 2? Anyway, thank you so much to the Don Gungshi. I really do appreciate you for that, mate. That's very kind. And keep smashing the likes, guys. We're nearly at 150 likes. Thank you so much for that. Nice one. Nice one. Okay, right. Let's continue with what I was going to talk about very quickly. James Ward-Prowse any day, says Chris. Kieran says James Ward-Prowse. James Ward-Prowse, it's not even a competition, says Fraud Sports. Ward-Prowse by far, yeah. Neva, says Andy Young. Well, I wasn't talking about for United, actually. I was talking about for West Ham, if you were West Ham. And obviously they signed Ward-Prowse and he started well for them. Got a couple of assists today. Ward-Prowse. See, that's what I'm saying. So we were foolish to not accept that offer for Scott McTominay. We could have got 30 million on the books, got rid of a player, signed Sofian Amrabat by now. But instead, we fannied around like a bunch of fannies like we always do. Disgrace and a nonsense. Roy Keane would be throwing punches at them if he could. Right. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second, guys, because it's important that we highlight as much as possible. So look, this is obviously a sit-in protest for the Nottingham Forest game that's coming up, guys, for the 1958. Check out the __1958 on Twitter and go find out the more details. But there is a sit-in protest here planned for the Forest game. So obviously some of these boycotts of the games don't work too well because clearly, you know, not that many people are prepared not to go in and support the side. This is a different sort of way of showing you're dead against the Glazer shithouses, rather than, you know, not go to the games that you've maybe paid your season ticket for or whatever, and that you want to enjoy yourself for entertainment purposes, of course, etc. And maybe you've travelled over from a different country. You're not going to just go and bloody boycott the game, are you? There's a lot of people, though, that do, and this is a different sort of way of doing it as well, which is a sit-in protest after the game. So no bastard goes anywhere for an hour. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Glazers out, and all that shite. You know, so that'd be awesome to do that, to be fair, if the fans can, you know, protest and make their voice heard a little bit better, maybe by doing that. So I think this is a good thing to promote on this channel, guys. Check out the 1958, who are the most sort of vocal supporters group who are trying to raise the awareness about the Glazer shithouses and trying to do as much as they can to get them out. There's a lot of people here want them out. And any which way you can share this. Obviously, there's a lot of people who support Manchester United from all over the country, who are from all over the world, who can't go to the games or whatever, or for whatever reason. So, you know, you can do your bit by maybe sharing it around, maybe telling people about it like I'm doing right here. Just get people on board, because after the Nottingham Forest game, there is going to be a sit-in. Check this out. So United fans demand a resolution to 18 years of ignorance and silence. Join us, stand with us, fight with us, stay in your seat. For you, for us, for each other. The 1958. So for the Forest game, there's a sit-in protest planned for after the Forest game, guys. Get in there, my son. Okay, I'll leave that in the top right-hand corner for anybody who's coming in who wants to see that out. But check out the 1958 there, guys, on social media, because, you know, they're doing a good thing here to try and raise awareness and to try and get these shithouse Glazers out and to protest the Glazers' ownership. This club will never get better whilst the Glazers are here. It might get a little bit better due to management, due to players, but it won't ever reach its full potential. That's what I should have said. It won't ever reach its full potential, especially behind the actual pitch, when it comes to matters beyond the first team, when it comes to all the other areas, as we've mentioned before, the facilities, the infrastructure, everything. That is where we're being massively left behind as well. And like, if you look at this transfer window, it's just not good enough. Yes, we spent a bit of money on a few players. It's all just dressing for the shop window for these wankers to say they've done something. But in reality, they've still left us very short in key areas, and they're not helping the manager the way that they should. It's poor management, it's poor running of the football club, and we are being left wanting for players. And it's just the same thing every single summer. We've had enough of it. Fuck off, Glazers. Get out of our football club and let us have it back. If we had the Qataris come in at the start of the summer transfer window, could you imagine the sort of amazing transfer window we may have had? We would have been buying everybody, wouldn't we? We'd have got Kane. We'd have got all the necessary players and positions sorted. We'd have got Rasmus Højlund and Kane more than likely up the top of the pitch there, because they'd have actually been investing some money from outside sources. And yeah, there's FFP you've got to adhere to. We've got a load of shite players around the club we can just sack off and get some money saved, and also sell some players maybe at a slightly cheaper cut price, like Scott McTominay for 30 million, which we should have fucking accepted. And we'd have imagined the Qataris, if they'd have received that offer for McTominay, they'd have said, yeah, nice one, see you later on, Scotty, because they're not prepared to try and squeeze an extra few fucking pounds out the deal. They're just honestly trying to rebuild the club. And that's what we need, is new owners who are prepared to do that. So get a hashtag Glazers out in the live chat, guys, and share this around, spread it around about this sit-in protest for the Forest game. It's very much important. And big up to the 1958 who are doing a splendid job of, you know, raising the awareness about these shithouse owners. Nice one, guys. Thank you so much for hearing me out there. Get your green and gold emojis in there to ward off the evil spirits of the Glazers. Right, okay. I'm going to move on now to the next story, guys. We've got a few transfer dealings to discuss now about players we're getting rid of, players we're signing. It's a goalkeeper matter at this moment, so it's not the most exciting, but let's discuss it. So there is reports now that Henderson is wanted by Crystal Palace. Get in there. Come on, please go and buy this twat. He's a player we need to get rid of. If we can get rid of him, maybe we can go and buy Sofyan Amrabat. It shouldn't be a case of, oh, we have to sell to buy, but it is, it seems, under these Glazer shithouses. But Crystal Palace set to make a move to sign Dean Henderson. Various different outlets reporting this, including Fabrizio Romano, that there is interest from Crystal Palace for Dean Henderson, which would obviously be excellent for us, wouldn't it, if we could get this guy off of our books. I don't know how much it would be for. Obviously, it's probably just a loan deal, knowing Man United and knowing Dean Henderson, and the ability to actually get this guy gone is almost impossible because he's on 130 grand a week, and nobody wants to pay a significant transfer fee and pay money to our players because these players are paid an absolute extortionate amount because we're such a shit-run club that we just give these players fuckloads of cash even though they don't deserve it. So, you know, it probably is some sort of a loan capacity or a very dirt cheap deal. But at this moment in time, it is being discussed that there is obviously very much interest from different teams, but mainly Crystal Palace at this moment in time. Fabrizio has said that Man United are not done in the transfer market. They are continuing to explore options, and a lot of it is going to be based on us getting rid of players, basically. So we are exploring a new goalkeeper as well, based on maybe getting rid of Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson as a backup is fine. To be fair, he's a good backup to have, isn't he? Let's be fair, he's a good backup. But when you consider he's on 130 grand a week, who's paying 130 grand a week to a backup goalkeeper just sat there scratching their ass? It makes no sense at all. It's bad management. So you want to get rid of him. Of course, you want to try and get rid of the guy. This is from Fabrizio. He says that Manchester United are exploring the market for a new second goalkeeper, with 2 or 3 names being considered at the moment. Manchester United, Dean Henderson still expected to leave, with Crystal Palace now interested to replace Gator. So, you know, it does look like there is some serious strong interest from Crystal Palace. I hope it's going to be a full transfer. But as I said, knowing Manchester United, it will probably be a gash loan. But let's ask the chat really quick, guys. Would you like to see Henderson stay as our backup goalkeeper? He is a good backup goalkeeper, to be fair. But he's a mole, isn't he? And he's also a miserable bastard. And also, he doesn't earn his wages. So let us know. Would you like to keep him? Would you want him to stay? Would you want to sell him? Or would you want to loan him out? Let us know your thoughts in the live chat. Zay Miassi, thank you for the 199 super chat here, my son. What's going on, Zay? Hang on, I need a tissue real quick. Zay Miassi, thank you very much indeed there for the super chat, lad. He says £50 bet Ten Hag sack before Arteta. Zay Miassi, I'm not going to bet you money on this shit, bud. You know, you're talking absolute wank, bud. Yeah, okay, yeah, because Arteta's already fucking done the best out of any manager since Wenger and has managed to get you second place. Still bottled the fucking league, though, lad. You know, but, you know, they're not going to see... Arteta's built up a bit of credit, mate. Ten Hag's been here for a year. Arteta's been there for a good few years now. You know, it's not a fair bet, mate. Piss off, Zay Miassi, lad. I'm not accepting it, lad. And anyway, you know, I don't want to bet on Ten Hag's future, mate. I'm not going to do that. I think that's disrespectful to Eric, lad. You know what? Sit down, Zay Miassi, lad. Crazy Joe Devola, thank you for getting in here. Says no major trophy in a decade. Are you pissed, Piggy? I'm fucking furious, lad. I'm absolutely furious. Of course I am. We should be competing for Champions Leagues. You wankers shouldn't. You wankers are fucking cheats. New money club, bunch of guffbags who bought your success. You wankers shouldn't be competing for Champions League. We should. We should be winning Premier League titles, not you charlatans. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I am pissed off. Of course I'm pissed off. Manchester United should be in a better place. It's only due to our piss-poor management from the top down, I mean, not the current manager, but the management from above, that is the big problem as to why we are not doing that. This club has got the best support in the world. This club has got the best history in terms of, like, recent years of being a successful winning club. That shouldn't just go away overnight. But post-Fergie, it has gone away overnight. You take away a mercurial, majestic man, a manager like Sir Alex Ferguson, and it leaves us in a horrible place because he was the only one capable of holding the reins while the shithouse Glazers rotted the club. And now he's gone. Obviously, since then, it's been a complete shambles. And it's all because of the Glazers' mismanagement from the top down. So I am pissed off, to be honest with you, Crazy Joe. But you wankers don't deserve any of your success either. There you go. But thanks for your comment there, pal. I appreciate you. Right. So... we're looking for new signings, guys. We're obviously still not done in this transfer market. We bloody well shouldn't be. We need to bring in Sofyan Amrabat. We need to bring in a great striker as well, a specialist number 9. That's what we need to do. And ideally, another goalkeeper here would be good to replace Henderson. I mean, we've seen the live chat here. A lot of the live chat are saying they'd rather sell him. In regards to Dean Henderson, sell. Get rid of this guy. You know, he's not the type of keeper as Onana anyway. He's more De Gea type, so even if he wasn't a snake, it would be a no. Sell or loan, sell or loan. So most people don't want him. So, yes, it would be nice to just be able to get rid of him, get him off our books, see you later on, go to Crystal Palace, end game for him at United. So hopefully that materialises. Let's hope that Crystal Palace are prepared to pay what United want. Because, again, I think United have probably been a bit too greedy with what we want for a lot of players this summer, which is why we are finding it hard to sell some of these players because of their wages as well. You know, thank you, Madhouse. So let's hope that we can get him gone to Crystal Palace and then we can maybe sign a new goalkeeper. At the moment, it's looking like Greek legend Vlachodimos, guys. Get in there, my son. I would like to see us get a little bit more of a Greek contingent in the United side. You know me, guys. I'm a quarter Greek. My grandma was from Athens. Both my parents are English, but my mum was half Greek. And I'm a quarter Greek, believe it or not. So, you know, does the beard give it away? Socrates vibes, you know what I'm saying? Not the Brazilian footballer, no, the philosopher. Yeah, that's right. Socrates vibes, peeps. So, Spartans, what is your profession? And all that jazz. You know what I mean? So, I am a little bit Grecian myself, right? I would like to see Vlachodimos come in as a backup goalkeeper. In regards to him, you know, we are exploring the possibility of bringing him in right now. So this is for Fabrizio Romano as well. You're Greek too? Nice one, Dimmy Maiden. That's awesome, lad. Get your Greek flags in the live chat, peeps. Come on, represent. So Fabrizio says exclusive. Manchester United are now exploring a move for Odysseus Vlachodimos, who's expected to leave Benfica. Man United want Vlachodimos top of Man United's list as a new backup goalkeeper in case Dean Henderson joins Crystal Palace or Forest. So I would welcome this. I think Vlachodimos, from what I've seen of him, is a good keeper. Haven't seen all that much of him, but you know, he does look like a good keeper in terms of playing for the national side and all that kind of stuff. Vlachodimos is a Greek beast. So let's bring him in as a backup. We only need a backup. It's not like it really matters anyway, because Andre Onana is going to be our number 1 daddy around these parts. He's one of the positives from this transfer window. I think if you look at the first couple of games that he's had, especially competitive football, maybe he was a bit ropey in the preseason a little bit for 1 or 2 incidents, but he's that sort of player. He lives close to the edge, Andre Onana, but he's going to create lots of chances. There was one moment in the first half of that Spuds game which kind of sums up Andre Onana's game, really. He was wafting out there close to the halfway line. You don't see many goalkeepers close to the halfway line. He's right near the halfway line. He wins the ball back for United, sweeps it up, and then he gets his head up and he pings a 60-yard diagonal over to the left side of the pitch for Garnacho. Garnacho gets in down the left into the space. He was unmarked because it's just a brilliant ball, and we could have had a goal-scoring opportunity from it. Now, it didn't happen, but that move from Onana basically sums up the type of football that this guy can give you. He's going to be able to give you that direct vision from the back there as a goalkeeper, which is pretty epic. You know, he's a different type of player to almost most goalkeepers, but certainly to what we had before. David De Gea, totally different style of player. Barely come out of his area at all. So, you know, it's a different sort of player, but it's actually a very exciting sort of player to see play at United. So I think he's one of the positives of the signings that we've made this summer, and Ten Hag obviously got him for a reason. So I'm happy about Andre Onana, but yes, it would be nice to get this backup Vlachodimos in. There is a bid expected very soon from Manchester United. It seems he's number 1 on our list. There is no bid at this moment in time for him, and there is no bid for Sofyan Amrabat, and there is no bid for a forward. There's no bloody bids going on at all right now, but they're expected to be coming very soon. So we are expecting a minimum of 2 bids to come, 1 for Vlachodimos and 1 for Sofyan Amrabat in the coming days before the end of the transfer window. That's the idea. Is to bring 2 players in minimum, but really the 2 players that we need minimum are a forward and a midfielder. The goalkeeper I'm not actually that bothered about. If we keep Henderson, that's just one of those things. He's a backup anyway. But if we could get Vlachodimos and then the 2 signings that we're talking about, a forward player and a midfielder, that would be wonderful. So I think Odysseus Vlachodimos would be a wonderful signing to get rid of Dean Henderson. If we can sell Dean Henderson, that means we sign Vlachodimos. I think that's a good piece of business. Smash a 1 in the chat, everyone, if you would like to see Odysseus Vlachodimos sign for Manchester United. Smash a 1 in the chat. Most people, I'm sure, won't really care, because it's just a backup goalie, but it's a nice goalkeeper we can bring in to give us more depth, more quality. If Ten Hag wants him, then let's bring him in. And if it gets rid of Dean Henderson, I'm happy with that as well. Because Henderson's just not really wanted by us fan base at Manchester United, and he's not really the right type of goalkeeper to be a backup for us. So it's slow progress at United if we can bring in Vlachodimos. Yeah, fair enough, Daniel Hutchinson. He says, do not care. No, I get that. It's a pretty meaningless signing if we do bring him in, but it's a good player to come in and give us a bit of depth anyway. Onana's obviously the daddy I was saying a minute ago. So, but it's just about getting players out as well. If we get rid of Henderson, then we can bring in Vlachodimos. Berber says, 10 days left. We need open heart surgery. This isn't even plastic surgery. Yeah, this isn't even a rhinoplasty, mate. You know what I'm saying? In fact, we've still got Maguire and we've still got McTominay. We've basically just had a boob job this summer, haven't we? We've got like fucking double E's or something, plastic surgery going on there, but we haven't addressed it in the other areas, you know. We still need open heart surgery, but it's like giving a pair of fake tits to someone who needs a fucking triple heart bypass. You know what I mean? It's not going to do them any fucking good, is it? You're absolutely spot on. Shocking. Absolutely shocking, lad. Okay, let's discuss this a moment. Not going to dwell on this too much because I don't feel like there's much of a basis for it at this minute because it looks like he's already going to Saudi. But let's talk about Marco Verratti at this moment in time. So he is being linked to Manchester United. Here's the latest on Verratti and various different outlets suggesting that Man United and Bayern Munich have expressed an interest in recent days for Marco Verratti. Man United is a destination that's not ruled out. Verratti, yes or no, folks? I always think that players coming from PSG, they're just a big red flag. They're prima donna ego melts. If they're the sort of players that would go over in the prime of their careers and play in French football, then they're probably not the sort of players that I want anyway. You know, he is a good player, though. He's definitely a talented player, but just mentality-wise, I'm not so sure about players who play for PSG. Just as a rule, I wouldn't sign players from PSG, especially when they've been playing over there in their mid-20s in their prime. It's a red flag from me. They're clearly just a mercenary. So I don't really want him myself, but he is a decent sort of a player. Of course, he's a good player, but not the sort of signing we need to make right now, I don't think. I don't think it would be right for us whatsoever. But to give you the latest news on it anyway, it does look like he's going to Saudi Arabia rather than going to United or Bayern anyway. Graham Bailey here reporting that PSG's Marco Verratti looking to seal a move to Saudi Arabia with Al Ali ready to finalise a deal. Sources say that Man United and Bayern Munich have been offered the chance to make a late play for the Italian, but a move to Saudi Arabia is now close. So I do think he's going to Saudi Arabia anyway. But just some reports and speculative news coming out the last day or two about Man United being interested in Marco Verratti. It's a no from me, Carol. I'm not really overly interested in him anyway. And he's close to joining Saudi side. So as I mentioned, Al Ali over there in Saudi Arabia. He's already agreed personal terms with them. And, it looks like obviously that they just need to find an agreement with PSG in terms of fee-wise, etc., and then he will be an Al Ali player. So he's obviously clearly a mercenary shitbag anyway. He's the sort of player that would go from the French Farmers League in his prime to the Saudi Arabian League right now. So he's getting on a bit anyway, but he is obviously a class player, but also mentality-wise, he's just not it. I don't think he's the right sort of player that we should be signing right now. Yep, Rashi says Verratti passed it now. Yeah, he's probably early 30s now. Don't know his exact age, but he's probably early 30s, and he's just not the right fit for Manchester United right now anyway. So there you go. Verratti looks like he's going to Saudi Arabia, not Manchester United. Just quickly, let's move on to Pavard very quickly. We were all interested in bringing Benjamin Pavard, or a lot of us were anyway. Certainly we were all interested in getting rid of Slabby Maguire and bringing in a defender. Obviously Slabby Maguire's stuck here. We're not getting rid of Slabby Maguire by the looks of it anyway, unless something miraculous happens between now and the end of the window. But at this moment in time, there is still conversations and negotiations going on between Inter Milan and Bayern München for Pavard. So Fab says that Inter and Bayern will discuss again on Sunday, which is today, for Benjamin Pavard deal. New round of talks scheduled. Pavard keeps pushing. He wants to join Inter as soon as possible. And it's expected that they could reach an agreement somewhere in the region of 30 million euros for Pavard, which would have been a decent price to pay for someone who could have improved our starting, or at least our squad, not necessarily our starting 11, but improved our squad, given us that depth, and got rid of the human slabinator as well. So Fab says Inter are now prepared to pay more than 30 million euro package, add-ons included for Benjamin Pavard. Bayern and the players' camp are informed. Inter, the crucial point remains Bayern to find a replacement for Pavard to give the final green light. So it just seems that the hold-up there is about Bayern Munich looking for a replacement for Pavard anyway. We heard yesterday that they did want more than the offer initially that had been made, and so they were holding out for 40 million euros. But that's a negotiation tactic. What will probably happen is he'll go for somewhere in the region of 35 million in total, some of which of that will be add-ons. So a decent sort of fee that they receive, but a decent sort of amount to pay for him as well from Inter Milan's perspective. They'll be getting a good player, good experienced player in their prime, 27 years of age, to come in and do a good job for him. What really pisses me off is that United are losing out to Inter Milan these days. That's really pissing me off. And this isn't the 90s, guys. This is now. And if Man United want to get a player, we should be able to go get a player for a cheap amount of money, really. If Inter Milan can do it, why can't United do it? Don't give me that FFP nonsense. Don't give me the fact we've already got Højlund and Onana and Mount. It's not good enough. We need to be signing players. And don't give me that we have to sell Maguire first. That's bullshit. Get rid of this twat. Let's get some bloody decent depth in here. So, very, very disappointed if we do miss out on that guy, but it looks like that may be the case. Probably will end up going to Inter Milan, guys. It looks like we're not in the race for him at all now because obviously we've got Harry Maguire. Get out of our football club, you big Easter Island statue. Nobody likes you, mate. You know, it's that simple, really. Nobody wants him at the club anymore. And he is just a sort of monolith stinking up the gaff at this stage, just stopping us from progressing. That's what really pisses me off about Slab. Plus, he's just not going to fit the system that Ten Hag wants. He's not going to play very much at all. He's just an expensive statue now. An expensive statue who's gash. So very disappointing that he's here. Another gash player that we need to get rid of course, is Tony Martial, to be fair. He's an injury-prone meltbag. I mean, there is some reports coming out tonight that Saudi Arabian teams are still interested in Tony. Please do it. Please come and take this absolute injury-prone, inconsistent melter, prima donna, sulking individual off our hands. Please, Saudi Arabian teams. So this is from the Mirror, though. So, you know, the Mirror football is not the best of sources, let's be honest. But this has been going on for weeks, to be fair, that there's been links with Tony Martial. I mean, the Mirror, the Mirror is not good for anything, guys. It's not good for anything, really. So, but Saudi clubs are set to offer Manchester United a hefty transfer fee to sign Anthony Martial. Okay, nice one. Well, let's hope that that's true, but it's obviously speculative guff. But it's transfer news I wanted to just discuss, because Tony Martial, of course, is a player that most people would be happy to get rid of. His high wages causing issues there with the ability for us to sell the twat. That's the reality. He's just too expensive. He's on too much money. We wouldn't get much of a fee. Maybe Saudi Arabian clubs would be interested. You see Saudi clubs going to buy lots and lots of players, some of which they're not all the top players either. I mean, one player that could have helped us out, actually, Mitrovic has just gone over there as well. You know, they could be interested in bringing a player like Martial, but there is a big difference between Mitro and Martial, to be fair. Mitrovic is like a battling beast. He might have a bit of a hot head or whatever. He's not perfect, but he gets you goals and he's consistent. Whereas Tony Martial is very inconsistent, an injury-prone melter. And plus, think about the wage discrepancy between Mitrovic and Martial before, you know, he's gone to Saudi. Obviously, I don't actually know what Mitrovic was on at Fulham, but I bet you was nearly half of what Martial was on at Manchester United. So you have to think about that as well. Like, it's just harder to get these players gone because they're getting great wages at Manchester United, and it's hard to convince them to go elsewhere where, you know, these teams are prepared to pay it. There's only a certain handful of teams that would be crazy enough to pay Tony Martial what we pay him, and they probably all are in Saudi Arabia. So let's hope that that's true anyway, but it probably isn't. Because who would be interested in Tony? What do you reckon, though, guys? Keep or sell Tony Martial? Let us know. But obviously, I think we need a new striker. We've got Rasmus now. So I would sell him and buy Leonardo. At least that's an unproven guy who might be great. Tony's just proven guff, who's inconsistent and rubbish and injury prone. So I would more rather take a leap of faith on somebody like Leonardo coming into our side and then stick with Rasmus Højlund up top there, rather than persevere with Tony Martial. He's just going to get back, play a couple of games, and then get injured again. You know, he is. He come on as a substitute in the last game. I'm surprised he didn't go off on a stretcher. He's always going to get injured. He's just that sort of guy. So, yeah, you can't rely on him anyway. Right, okay, guys. Well, I'm going to do a rundown of what we discussed in this video. That is basically all the latest transfer news. Let me just check the updates from Rushmano coming in here, my main man, the transfer guru. Check out his page on Twitter, transfers_UTD, for the latest Manchester United news and updates. He sent another report to me that says that Crystal Palace have spoken to Manchester United about the possibility of bringing in Dean Henderson. So more confirmation that that is going on right now, that there is talks between the sides. Interestingly enough, only Brighton and Newcastle have created more big chances than Man United so far this season. That goes to show you the lack of clinicality. That's a great stat. Thank you for sharing that with me there, Rushmano. Great stat. Only Brighton, 9 chances, and Newcastle, 8 chances, have created more big chances than Man United so far this season. That tells you we need a striker. That tells you we are creating chances, but we're not taking them. We missed 2 sitters in that first half yesterday against Spuds. We could have been 2-0 up. We could have even been 3-0 up if you include that penalty shout in the first half. So that game could have gone a completely different way if we had finishers, if we had people who could take these chances. So that's quite interesting. We're third in terms of the Premier League table at the moment in created big chances, you know, goal-scoring chances. And let's face it, Brighton are looking amazing right now. And Newcastle are looking amazing right now as well. Those 2 teams are looking absolutely sensational, you have to say. So, you know, that's no bad thing, but we can't finish our chances. The real problem is the ability to put them away. If we had a proper goal scorer up there, we'd have been all right in these first opening couple of games, probably. So that's healthy to know that at least we are creating the chances, but you can't put them away, guys. That is depressing. Right, okay. Let's get into the live chat and let's have a quick rundown. Before I do, though, I'm going to have a rundown of what we discussed in this show to let everyone know what's up, who's just getting in here. So the people who may have just entered the stream, will tell you just quickly about what we've discussed in this video very, very quickly. Rushy's just sent me another thing as well that says that this is from Gianluca Di Marzio this evening, just a few minutes ago, that says that Inter continue to deal with SC Bayern to quickly close the purchase of Benjamin Pavard. Looks like that's going ahead there, doesn't it? Pavard's very close to joining Inter at this moment in time, guys. He wants to join them. He wanted to join us, but we weren't prepared to go in for him because we're keeping the human slab. Right, let's get stuck into the chat. Before I do, I'm going to have a rundown of what we've discussed, and I'm going to shout out everyone who's given us a retweet. The link is pinned to the top of the live chat. Go over there, give us a cheeky little share over on x.com or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. The link's at the top of the live chat. Give us a repost, and we will shout everyone out who does that in a minute. But before I do, I'm just going to get into the update of what we've discussed. So Fabrizio says that United are not done yet. We are still in the market. We just got to move on a couple of players, basically. Saudi clubs reportedly interested in Tony Martial. Let's hope that it's true. United still in for Sofyan Amrabat. It's known that we are still very much pursuing him, and we should go in for a bid for him before the end of the summer transfer window. We are potentially going to do so when we move on a player or two, which is a joke in itself, but still maybe some interest for Scott McTominay, let's hope. And Donny van der Beek maybe needs to be sold. Perhaps we could sell Henderson. Maguire is a dream to move on, but may not happen. And then there's also lots of reports that suggest that Liverpool are also interested in Sofyan Amrabat and may be able to get a deal done the longer Manchester United fanny around. Thank you, Chloe Jenkins, for your £5 super chat here. Get in there. Says we all know what's going to happen. Cause distress in the fan base. Last minute, they will pull 2 rabbits out the hat and deflect the noise. Probably, you're bang on there, Chloe Jenkins. You're right. You know, look at that. We've got 10 days left for the, or 11 days left of the transfer window. And you're absolutely right. They probably will just sign a cheeky Sofyan, maybe that Leonardo cheap forward, and sell one of our players that we're trying to get rid of right now. And they'll justify that as a decent transfer window. But it's still not a good enough transfer window. Thank you, Chloe. You're absolutely right. I'm with you. I can't disagree with you at all. I think you're absolutely right. They probably will try and calm the fan base down and appease the fan base towards the end of the transfer window. Absolutely. Okay, so thank you for that, Chloe. You're a legend. Get some love in there for Chloe. Gary Neville says that Ten Hag needs a number 6 to go alongside Casemiro. I completely agree with that statement, really. That's what we're crying out for. Mason Mount was a good signing for the depth of the squad, but he's not somebody that's really going to be too adept at playing alongside Casemiro, I don't think. And so Cassie's sort of isolated, left on his own at times. We don't have that defensive rigidity in midfield that we need to really mount serious attacks or defend very well either. So that's the problem there. The midfield's looking ropey, even though we spent 60 million on it. So Mason Mount, just a squad player, really, even though we spent 60 mil, we need to bring in Sofyan Amrabat. That's clear. Just an update on Greenwood I forgot to mention. I'm literally not going to dwell on this because I hate it when we start talking about Greenwood as it polarizes the chat. But there is an understanding. David Ornstein says that we're expected to hear an update on Mason Greenwood as early as tomorrow. So we'll keep you posted on the channel tomorrow if there is any breaking news about Mason. As we said yesterday, it seems like maybe there'll be a U-turn from United due to the backlash that was received from media outlets and you know, supporters groups and fans in general and journalists and all sorts. So Greenwood, we should have more news about that tomorrow, but I'm not going to dwell on that right now because it's just a depressing topic and it polarizes the live chat, to be fair. And everyone gets at each other, so I'm not going to talk about that right now. Marco Verratti, there is a link between us and him apparently, and also Bayern Munchen. Don't think it's legit, don't want him anyway, and he's more than likely going to Saudi Arabia, where he has already agreed personal terms with Al Ali. There's just now the case of them agreeing a deal with PSG. Also, we've heard it from Fabrizio Romano that we are still in for a second goalkeeper, especially if Dean Henderson is sold. So Man United are exploring the market for a new second goalkeeper with 2 or 3 names being considered. Dean Henderson still expected to leave, with Crystal Palace now interested to bring him in. So, and because of that, we are now linked heavily with Odysseus Vlachodimos, Greek goalkeeper. And this is from Fab as well, that says exclusive. Manchester United are now exploring a move for Odysseus Vlachodimos, who's expected to leave Benfica. Vlachodimos is top of Man United's list as a new backup goalkeeper in case Dean Henderson joins Crystal Palace or Forest. So that's good news. If we can get rid of Dean Henderson, maybe we'll go in and bid soon for Vlachodimos. That looks like quite a likely thing that could happen. But I guess it does hinge, just like on any of our signings right now, on maybe moving Dean Henderson on. Otherwise, Dean Henderson's probably going to end up being the backup goalkeeper, but that won't necessarily fit our style and fit our team or what we're trying to do. So get out Henderson, and let's bring in Vlachodimos would be very, very nice. And then just finally, we are also going to miss out on Pavard, as we've mentioned. Inter Milan are close to agreeing a deal for Pavard at this moment. It does look like that's going to be imminent. They are working on that deal and they're prepared to pay more than 30 million euros for him. And they've had a new round of talks with Bayern Munich today. So it looks like a target for United, Benjamin Pavard, is going to be missed by Manchester United due to our inability to sign players and our inability to sell players. What a bunch of bottle merchants. So piss poor performance from United this summer transfer window, if you ask me. We've been left still wanting 3 or 4 players. That's where we're at. What a shambles. Right, I'm going to get into the live chat now for the Q&A for 5-10 minutes, guys. Make sure you smash that like on this video and smash the subscribe button as well. That's the one down there that says subscribe in big red letters or whatever. Hit that subscribe if you're new. We're on here daily with all the Manchester United news. We cover it in a no bullshit way. And you can have your say as well. Great community vibes. We always have a Q&A at the end as well. So we'll read a bunch of comments out. Also, make sure you click the bell icon and give us a retweet over there on Twitter. I'm going to go there now and shout everyone out before we get into the chat who's given us a retweet. We've got 205 likes on the stream. That's fucking awesome. Get in there. Break out the red panties. We did it. Baby, we did it. Right, shout out to everyone who's retweeted us. We've had 29 retweets. Bloody hell, that's awesome, guys. Anthony Ong. Big Dick Lee... Goodness me. Kayam Legend as well. Kayam Legend. Oh, you got me there. You got me there. Right, okay. Also, Aaron Homeyard, Stephen Braun, Sanjay Ramatar, D Tycoon, Ryan Burberspin 9, Kane, United Flying High, Richard Westerpack as well, Thugger, Matty Gwynner, J United in Gaming, Wizzy Key, Jaden, Kieran, Jarvis Cocker, John Boy Cat, Feline Fur, Transfers _UTD, Mark, United Mark, Vincent Bullock, Jason Jackson, Andy Davidge, Secret Underdog the Gamer, Francois Coq, Luan France, Mike C. Hardwick, Joe Doe as well. Thank you very much for giving us a cheeky little retweet, you absolute legends. And we've had a couple more as well. Boomy has just retweeted us as well. Shout out Boomy. Thank you very much indeed. Everyone, thank you so much for retweeting the channel. That really does help us out. That's 30 odd retweets there. You're a bunch of legends. Every little share counts. So thanks so much for that, guys. Right, okay, time to get into the chat. Thanks so much to all those legends, by the way. Big up yourselves. Right then. Maguire, we got screwed. Well, if we stick with that guy, we are screwed, aren't we? I know, crikey. Let's just hope he doesn't play for us this season, but he's an expensive backup. Can we give Clabby some jobs at the club which don't require kicking a ball? We've got to get our money's worth somewhere, don't we? Yeah, give him the old janitor's overalls and let him mop the floor when somebody pukes. Rob, hello to you, bro. What's going on? I'm not too shabby, lad. Trey says, you've got a problem with Ten Hag. He has to give us real answers. Instead, we didn't do well. Well, fair enough. Yeah, Trey with a T. Fair play. I mean, he's obviously disappointed with how the team played. We were actually good in the first half. That's what was frustrating about it. They just bottled it second half. Ten Hag's got to take some blame. He's got to also realise that maybe some of the signings he's made are not ideal for this moment because, let's face it, we signed a player who's not fit in Rasmus Højlund. And we've also signed Mason Mount, who I don't really see how he improves our starting 11. But there you go. I don't know, Yellow Wellies, mate. I don't know really what you mean there, bud. Nothing, mate. Just basically don't have a wash, mate. Rushmano says subscribe to the channel. Yes, indeed. Hit the sub if you're new. I'll get in there. That's beautiful. AMRABAT and Gravenberch with Orban and Taremi. Hey, or Taremi. Yeah, great shout, United fan. That's exactly what we should get. Is a defender, a striker, and 2 midfielders. I think that would sort us out. That means if we get rid of McTominay and Maguire, we sign 4 players, and I couldn't agree more. That would actually be a good window. Rashford been back on the pack lunches again. Yeah, that's true, Vincent. The second best amount of retweets ever. So thanks everyone who's done that. Good shout, Berber. Make Maguire part of the foundations of the new stadium, mob style. Bloody hell, that is sinister, lad. Fair play to you, though. Matty Norton, thank you for being a member for 34 months, bro. Come on, hashtag 34 for Matt Norton. He says, Glazers out, Murtaugh out, Amrabat in. Love that, Matty Norton. Yes, indeed. Hashtag Glazer shithouses out. I couldn't agree more with you, lad. Could not agree more. Thank you so much to Matt Norton. Get some 34s in there for him. Yes, indeed, Gungshi, get in there. Lots of 34s. Thank you, Matt Norton. I do appreciate that. Well, we can't sell our guff players on too much money. Nobody wants him. Dimmy says, make us slap a slabby booth for £1 and watch us recover our 80 million in record time. So true, mate. You'd have a queue literally all the way to bloody Liverpool, probably. That's a good shout, Dimmy Maiden. 34 for Matty Norton. Thank you, Matty Norton, by the way, lad. Very much appreciate you. Jarvis says, realistically, how many players do you believe we'll sign and will they strengthen our team? Okay, I think we'll sign 3 players. I think we'll sign a backup goalie who's just pointless. Not pointless, but doesn't really do much for us because he's just a backup goalie. I think we'll sign a cheap forward, just somebody to the Glazer shithouses can say we signed a forward to back us up. And we'll sign a midfielder. Probably Sofian Amrabat would be our big signing between now and the end of the window. So I honestly do think 3. I think we have to respond some way to the poor start to the season by signing some players, don't we? It's clear what we need. I still think we'll sell a couple of players. I don't know if Mags is going anywhere, but I expect Scotty McTominay might go somewhere. Maybe Donny, Henderson seems wanted by Crystal Palace at this stage. So I'm going for 3 optimistically, but probably it's only 2, and one of which is a goalie. We might just end up with a goalie and Sofian, but I'm trying 3, lad. I'm going for 3. United says 3 and 9 and a mid and a centre-back. A fair play to you, my son. The fans are 70% Amrabat, 30% Gravenberch. Fair play to you. Is that Dutch Christ? He's changed his name to Headless Chicken Baller Berber. What's that all about, mate? Good too. So how is Berber? Are you talking about Dimitar Berbatov? Dimitar Berbatov is not a headless chicken. He's the opposite of a headless chicken now. And if you're talking about Berber in the live chat, you better change your name real quick, sunshine. That's right. Those 3 signers not good enough. No, probably not, Ryan. No, exactly. Can we put Slabby in the stocks and throw fruit at him? Still in the cans? Bloody hell. Oh, my goodness me. Who has done that, chocolate salty balls, lad? Anyway, we have the ambition of a slug, says Berber. Oh, man. Beef in the chat. Oh, it's fine. Let them at it. Let them at each other. Alfie Matori says, evening, bro. Hope you're doing okay, G. Please hear me out, bro. Do you think our preseason going to the States all the time is the thing that's making these players not fit enough, bro? No, I don't think so, Alfie. And we didn't go there last year, did we? We have done it quite a lot over the last decade, though. But we didn't do it last year, if I remember correctly, although I don't have a great memory. I don't seem to remember us going to the USA last year or even necessarily the year before. But certainly we have done that in a fair few seasons. But I don't think that's the case, mate. No, surely it doesn't really matter where you go. And it's about how you're training the side, the conditioning of the players, getting that conditioning up, and it's about the coaching and the sort of fitness regimes and stuff like that. So I don't think so. I don't think it has any bearing on how poor we are in terms of our fitness and conditioning levels, and that is a real problem at the start of the season, and it shouldn't be. Kate Cadet says next season we have to sell Mount, Anthony, McTominay, Bruno, and possibly Varane and Casemiro. Do you know what, Kate Cadet? You're an absolute fool. You know what I mean? Is that a genuine comment? And you have a go at Zamiassi about being a fucking annoying melt. Are you serious, lad? Come on. Why would you get rid of Casemiro and Varane and Bruno Fernandes? Although he's had a shite game, he's a fucking absolute baller, lad. Let's be fair, he's been one of our best players over the last 5 years, bud. And then, and Anthony needs a chance. He's only been here for 1 year. There's certainly players ahead of those guys that need to be sold way before these players that you've listed there. Mount, we've only just signed for 60 million. He's not going to be sold anywhere. Scott McTominay, yes, okay, fair enough. I'll give you that one. Kate Cadet, mate, you are on crack, lad. United says the same. What are you talking about, Kate Cadet, lad? Varane and Casemiro getting on. Mate, Varane's 30. Casemiro's 31. They're not fucking OAPs, my friend. They're still good players. You want quality? You got Modric doing it at fucking 37, lad. He's a class player. Would you have said no to Modric last season? No, you wouldn't have. Just because they're getting a bit on a little bit doesn't mean they shouldn't still be here in 1 year's time, mate. Cassie's 31, Varane's 30 or whatever. Like, they're still great players, bro. Oh, Jarvis says, to put things in perspective, Wolves had 3 weeks in Portugal. Spurs played 1 game in Perth and 1 in Singapore before they headed back to London. I believe our pre-season affects our performance. Well, it must do. That's a very good point, actually. Although we did rotate a lot of the, the team, and we played some youth players against Wrexham and stuff. There were some games we were playing like back-to-back, which was pretty odd, though we did have essentially 2 different sides out there. Clearly, the pre-season did affect us. Clearly, we didn't do the right thing to prepare us properly fitness and conditioning-wise for the season. I think that has to be said, because towards the end of that Spurs game, we looked like absolute tired melts out there, and it shouldn't be the case. We should be fit as a fiddle. We know how much Ten Hag likes his teams to be fit and covering the ground, and we actually really lacking in that area at the moment. So I agree, it must have been affected by our pre-season, just not good enough, whatever we've done. Casemiro can't run, says the Cake Cadet. So what? So what? He couldn't run for us last season. He was still one of the most successful tacklers, one of the best players in terms of the midfield in the team. He's never been about the pace, lad. So it's not about that. It's about having someone next to him who can help him. Then he'll be class. Honestly, I believe that. Maybe Simon Warner, I don't know. Pre-season was just for brand purposes. Ten Hag must be livid. Yeah, absolutely. Horrible game yesterday. Get in there, Travis, with the watermelon sugar high, my lad. They can't be sold for much at 32. No, that's it. We might as well keep them for the remainder of their contract. Both of those guys, really. Selling Bruno will be Man United's best decision. I disagree. I do think he is a class act. But yesterday he was shite in the second half. He was decent in the first half, but yesterday he was shite in the second half. But we need a good base to build from. I think Bruno would be better off having less to do in terms of... transitioning into attack and also coming back to defend. I believe it would be better if we had 2 number 6, like Casemiro next to AMRABAT, say, and then have Bruno, who's got more freedom to just stay up there a little bit more. Okay, his passing was atrocious yesterday, to be honest. But if we had other good passers in midfield who can pass and create, take some of the emphasis off of Bruno to have to do it all. Bruno last season created more goal-scoring opportunities than anybody in the league, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he got lots more than Kevin De Bruyne, for instance, over at City, who had a great season. So let's not pretend like the problem is Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is not the problem. There's other players who we need to get on the end of Bruno Fernandes' crosses, who can finish them off, and his passes, and then we'll be fine. Matty Norton, thank you for the $4.99 super chat, bro. He says the defence is fine, Varane is fine, Casemiro is fine, Onana is brilliant. The issue is that they've got overrun again because no one else gets back. Yes, we need a number 6 alongside Cassie. We also need a person who can take the chances up the top of the pitch. Like we said yesterday in the Spurs game, we had enough good chances in that first half to win the game. We just didn't take them. And as Rushmano sent me that stat, which is an interesting stat, so far in the Premier League, there's only 2 teams that have created more clear-cut goal-scoring chances than Manchester United, and that's Brighton and Newcastle. Well, they've been scoring a shitload of goals and playing really good football, and Man United are 3rd in the list of clear-cut chances created in the league so far, after only 2 games, to be fair. But I think that tells you a story, really. We are creating some chances, we're just not finishing them off. Yeah, Onana was very good, and Wan-Bissaka, Dale. Wan-Bissaka was very good. He's been pretty faultless throughout pre-season and the start of the Premier League campaign. Oh, shit, Kieran, do you know what? I'm going to have to do it tomorrow, mate. I've got everybody's names written down here, but I haven't... You've just reminded me, bud. I screenshotted everyone who's won it. So here's everybody's... Here's everybody who entered for the giveaway. I'm going to have to do it tomorrow because I haven't typed them into the thing, mate, and it'll take me a good 5 minutes to do that because there's a shitload of people. So I'm not going to do that on here. Yeah, I'll have to do that tomorrow, guys. Thanks for reminding me. I'll definitely do it tomorrow. Remind me in the afternoon show to set it up for the evening show. I'll definitely do that tomorrow. So yes, we're doing another t-shirt giveaway. You can't enter now. There was only until 1 a.m. you could enter. But all the people that have entered, rest assured, it will be tomorrow, guys. I've just forgotten about it. I had shit going on today, so I wasn't able to do it. You have to forgive me. But anyway, I'll be back on with that tomorrow, dudes. It's only been 2 games so far. It's not as though we are Scouse Mounts Everton or in the usual place. The Deitch effect isn't working. Oh, yeah, they're getting drubbed up, lad. No matter who we get, as soon as any of them have a bad game, this fan base gets on their back. I think being spoiled like we were under Fergie has made us preemptive and too quick to judge. Well, we certainly shouldn't be at panic stations yet, should we? There's obviously big glaring issues in the team, but nobody should be saying Ten Hag out or, you know, criticising Bruno Fernandes too much just yet. It's literally, like you say, 2 games in. Bruno, or even Rashford. Rashford's been crap the first 2 games. I still got faith in the lad. As soon as he's put back over the left wing, I bet he has a much better performance. He's not a number 9. So I agree, it's too early. The season's not over yet, Madhouse. Look at last season. We actually lost the first, was it 3 games last season in the Prem? We still managed to have a decent season and win a cup and finish 3rd, which was good for the Ten Hag's first season last year. So we can turn it around. There's no point panicking just yet. How many times have you been saying Bruno been off it today? Mate, he's not good enough, says Treating Red Devil. You know, quite a few, I suppose. Let's face it, for the first 18 months he came in, he was like one of the best players in the world. So he has fallen off a bit at United, but I think he's still a great, great player. I know he's not the most consistent, though, or certainly not as consistent as he was for his first 2 seasons. But I still like him. I still rate him. He needs a bit of help up there. Give him a chance as somebody up there who can finish his chances. Think about, okay, you're criticising Bruno saying he's crap training Red Devil. Do you remember that Rabona pass that he put in yesterday, which Rashford spurned? A great centre-forward would have put that chance away, no doubt. It was a perfect created chance by Bruno. And if that is put away, it's on the highlight reels for seasons to come. What a fucking amazing assist that would have been by Bruno. But it wasn't taken because we've got Rashford up there, who was headless chicken in it, and just doesn't have that aerial prowess. So you say Bruno's crap, but still yesterday he still managed to create epic goal-scoring chances even when he was having a bad game. So he needs a proper striker up there to complement him. Crazy Joe Devola, thank you for the €2 super chat, man, my son. He says, too early, pig. Eric Ten Hag needs another decade, my son. Crazy Joe Devola, he certainly needs a couple of years, man. Certainly needs a couple of years. There's no point judging him just yet, especially once the Glazers shithouses are still here. Especially because of that. I wouldn't judge him just yet, bro. He needs time. From where we were when Ten Hag's taken over, to expect him to have us a ready finished article right now is just silly. We do have a lot of work still to do. I have faith in Eric. Let's just hope he keeps that up and gets us back on track. We will dominate Forest. Well, we bloody need to. We need Højlund to hit the ground running. So true as well. He is a bit cake cadet. He's maybe, you know, not the perfect sort of captain, but out of the squad, he probably is the best candidate for captain. It's not a great time for just natural leaders, I suppose, in Manchester United squad. It's a bit better than it was a couple of years ago. But it's still, you know, we don't have Keane or Robson or a really, truly great captain. Hopefully Bruno will be that, but there is question marks over him at the moment. Yeah. Get Simeone and be done with it. Well, then we wouldn't be playing the United way, really, would we? We'd be maybe an organised, boring sort of a team, which might get results, but that's not the United way. Ten Hag is working towards making us an attacking, pressing, full tilt side. That's what we have to remember as well, and that's what United should be. So I don't really even want him. We need some proper steel in that team, not little bitches that cry and moan, hide. Very true, very true. Oh, it was absolutely gastastic legacy. Yes, I wonder if we'll beat Forest as well. Fair enough, Kate Cadet, maybe. I think Lindelof will be coming in, which isn't that much better, to be fair. We could do with another centre-back. Get rid of Maguire, get another centre-back. Harry Maguire still needs to go. Definitely Rushmano, you're so right, bud, yeah. I mean, that's what Casemiro is supposed to be for us as well, but the thing is we need somebody alongside him to do that Carrickle Scholesy role, that's the thing. Right, anyway, Matty Norton with another super chat. Thank you so much there, Matty. Let's get a raw emoji in there for Matty Norton. He comments, that ball from Onana to Garnacho should have been converted too. Yeah, Onana's distribution alone makes him worth the money. Great goalkeeper. Yeah, I completely agree. He had a great game yesterday. And like I was saying at the start of the show, his distribution was excellent. That moment where he spanked it to Garnacho could have been a goal. And also that other chance that Bruno Fernandes missed with his head, it's not going to get any better than that. I believe it was Luke Shaw who played the ball in, and Bruno Fernandes has missed literally an absolute sitter. An absolute sitter of a chance missed from Bruno Fernandes. So we definitely had our chances. That's the frustrating thing. If we could finish our chances, we'd win these games. So it's not like there's a serious problem necessarily with the attacking play. That's what Ten Hag said yesterday. He actually said the attacking play wasn't that bad, but the finishing was piss poor. Rug Muncher, thank you for the £10 super chat, lad. Get in there, my son. He says, we need more hairy growlers. You love a hairy growler, you, don't you there, Rug Muncher 007? Fair play to you, lad. Get in there. Well, we do. We could do with a Roy Keane in the centre of the park, couldn't we? Somebody who's hairy and growling in that midfield, mate. 100% agree with that, lad. Well said. We do need some more hairy growlers in the team, mate. I can't dispute it. Mate, thank you, Rug Muncher 007, for the £10 super chat. That's absolutely raw. Get some love hearts in there for Rug Muncher 007. I appreciate that, dude. We need some hairy growlers in the team. That's it. Some real brutal individuals. Thank you, Rug Muncher, for that, lad. Yes, indeed. Subscribe to the channel, guys. If you're new to the channel, get yourself in there raw and subscribe if you're new. We're on here daily with the United news. I'm pretty much going to wrap it up in a minute, but I'm going to read a couple more comments out. Get your last thoughts and opinions in. We have no style of play. We're working towards it, Jonathan Gallagher. Rome wasn't built in a day, lad. You know. Get Hoyland back, says Rajat. I mean, you might not remember, Jonathan, because I know you're pretty young. What are you, like 20 or something? But I remember seasons under Sir Alex Ferguson. He was obviously an amazing manager who, let's face it, was the best manager ever. But there were still seasons under United which were less than perfect, which had some people unhappy, which were frustrating. You know, we didn't finish first all the time. Sometimes we finished third. And sometimes we didn't play the absolute best throughout the course of a season. You know, there's going to be games, there's going to be times where you have spells and ebbs and flows and all that sort of stuff. We just got to keep the faith that Ten Hag's building towards a certain style which isn't ready yet. But once it is ready, we should be well oiled to do the job, you know? So let's be honest, like football-wise, we've got a lot of work to do. Results-wise, we've got a lot of work to do. Think about Fergie a lot of the time. Sometimes it was counter-attacking stuff. We lost some big high-profile games. We bottled a couple of seasons. It happens. Nobody can do it all the time, and it's certainly hard to do it if Ten Hag is just come in. Yeah, there you go, Rushmano. Precisely. So it wasn't built in a day, lad. Jonathan says, Pig, the Spurs manager already has Spurs already playing good football. Well, if you think that, then you're an absolute melt stick, Jonathan Gallagher, lad. They've played 2 games. Judge them at the end of the season, mate. I bet you they fucking absolutely bottle it, my son. Because Spurs are perennial bottle jobs, mate. Doesn't matter if they got this Postecoglou Aussie Greek in there, my son. Yes, they were good against United. United was shite. We could have been 3-0 up at half-time as well. And if that had gone that way, we wouldn't be saying that, would you know? Just because they were great in the second half and Man United were Poodoo Magoo, looked like a bunch of unconditioned zombie twats not knowing what to fucking do with the wrong person on the squad, all of a sudden Spurs are great. Nah, Spurs are shite still. Trust me. They haven't done anything overnight, mate. Calm down. They're fucking gash. Right, anyway. Fitness levels should be looked upon. Definitely. That's what I'm saying. We were zombies towards the end of that game. If we weren't, then maybe, you know, if the conditioning was better, maybe we smash them up second half. I think that was it. We got fatigued in that second half. Legacy of Outlaws, thank you for the 3-month membership there, my son. Get in there. Comment. He says, these players nowadays just care about the money. They don't play for the shirt or the club. Unfortunately, it is largely true, Legacy of Outlaws. I still think there's some players that personally still have that bottle in them. But I think a lot of them these days, you're right, just care about the money. Maguire's a case in point. He could go and play regular football at a good club like West Ham, but he elects to stay as a backup on the bench. What a twat. Yeah, Roy Keane said it, and I do sort of agree with it, unless we change it, you know, unless we change it. I mean, to be fair, he is doing well. They played some good stuff, but it's only 2 games in. You can't judge Spurs after 2 games, just like you can't judge Man United after 2 games. It's crazy. It means postman's son in Turkish. Does it really, Ali Everett? Nice, nice. I need a stronger mentality, says Gattuso. The players who do play for the shirt are fans hate on, says Ryan. Nah, I don't know about that, lad. Don't know about that, my son. We hate on Maguire and he doesn't play for the shirt, clearly. Anyway, right, guys, I'm going to wind up this stream now. We've been on here for 1 hour and 22 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up. Please make sure you subscribe if you're new. Smash that like button before you go. Let's have a little late night like spike before we finish the stream. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give away 2 t-shirts tomorrow, guys. Fuck it. Because I've not done it tonight. And that's piss poor, isn't it? I did say I was going to do it tonight. So I'm going to give everyone in here a chance to go over and enter. If you've already entered, though, don't bother doing it because, you know, you're not going to get entered twice. But we'll give away 2 t-shirts tomorrow, right, guys? So go over to this link. Let me pop it in the... Let me just pop it in the old live chat. All you have to do to enter this giveaway is to go over to the Spurs reaction, which I'll get the link for now. And smash a comment between now and midnight. So you've got half an hour to enter. That's for all the people that are in this stream right now. The late night posse. You got half an hour to enter, guys. Go over there, smash a comment in there, and we will give away 2 different t-shirts tomorrow to 2 different winners. So get in there, my son. Give away, enter a comment here. That's all you have to do to enter, guys, and we'll add you to it. So there's going to be twice as much action. So those people who entered yesterday don't have any less chance of winning. In fact, you've probably got more chance of winning because less people will comment now. So here you go, guys. There it is in the live chat. Just put it in the chat there. Go and enter the giveaway. All you have to do, go over to that link. It's pinned to the top of the chat. Go over there, smash a comment on the video there before midnight. So you've got half an hour to enter. Watch the video as well. Smash a like on it. You've got to be subscribed also. Enter and get yourself involved. Hey, we're almost at 400 likes on that Spurs video, by the way. I mean, that is the gash thing about this channel, to be fair. I mean, it's not that the community is amazing here. We still got hundreds of people watching. But that's the gash thing about this channel, is when we lose, my videos just get more views. Because all the fucking Liverpool wankers and Man City scummers, all 2 of them, and all the Arsenal wank bags, and all the fucking Chelsea rats, and all these tossers come out the woodwork. That's what happens. We get more views when we fucking lose. It's an absolute shambles. But anyway, thank you, everyone. Big up yourselves. Yes, go over there and enter the giveaway. Do comment on it, guys. That would be awesome. You know it makes sense. Go and enter. It's a free giveaway. We'll give away 2 t-shirts tomorrow, guys. 2 t-shirts tomorrow. I've got to go to the post office to send one off to Canada anyway, so I might as well go and give away a couple more. So it's pinned to the top, guys. Go and do it. Get yourself in there raw. I'll see you later. But thanks to everybody in the live chat who's got in here tonight. You can come back afterwards and have your say on the, not this stream, Gregory Burke, the one that's pinned to the top of the live chat, bud. I'll just put the link in again in the chat. So, yeah, the one that's just in the chat there from Flying Pig Gaming, as you can see. Flying Pig Gaming. Hey, have a good one, Jarvis and Travis and everyone else. Thank you to all the moderators in blue for supporting the channel and moderating the chat. And thank you for the members in green who have had their say. Thank you, Gungshi. You have a great one, my friend. Thank you very much for Gungshi for gifting out 5 memberships on the channel as well. Thanks to all the membership gifters there. Thanks to all the members. Thanks to all the super chatters. Thanks to everyone else who's got in and chatted. Great interactive live chat tonight, guys. Really enjoyed it. Thank you, Luan France, Madhouse, J United, and everybody else too. Sorry if I'm not mentioning your name, but there's so many of you legends. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Gregory. Boomy as well. Ryan, Hoopman, absolute legend. Ulster. You know, thanks everyone. Aaron, everyone who's got in here. Get yourself back. Thank you, Randall P. McMondo. Appreciate you, bro. That's very nice of you. Now get out, you Scouse Melter. No, thank you very much, bro. Appreciate it. And everyone, come back afterwards and have your say on whatever we've discussed in this video. Get your thoughts in after. Kate Cadet, you're a very passionate individual, lad. Come back and have your say, mate. You know what I'm saying? Keep the debate going after the show. But also go over there and smash a cheeky little comment on the Tottenham rant. That way you'll be entered into the t-shirt giveaway for tomorrow. Love you too, man. Thank you everyone for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch and Kick at Flying Pig United. Oh, we got a super chat from Lewis. I missed it. Sorry, mate. Let's go check that out. Lewis, sorry, bro. He says Shaw has been at United for 9 years, by the way. That's pretty outrageous. He's still only 26 or 27. By the way, guys, I've got a Frey Bentos pie emoji coming, guys. Get in there, my son. Got a Frey Bentos pie emoji. I thought you'd like that. By the way, I'm going to have to get rid of a couple of emojis. YouTube are absolute scumbags. I'm only allowed 28 emojis, even though we got hundreds and hundreds of members. It's a fucking joke. So there you go. We're getting a Frey Bentos emoji coming. So enjoy that. I'm going to have that on there by tomorrow. I've already received it. The Hoop Man gets in there, my son. Let's go. Thank you, everyone, for watching and getting in here raw. Rushy, the merch site is no longer, mate. Sorry, I'm going to have to remove that. It is no longer because it just wasn't worth keeping on there. It's expensive to run, mate, basically. And, you know. But anyway, there is no merch site at the moment. But I'll get something going on my other site, flyingpigunited.com. Check out the website, flyingpigunited.com. You can join the FPL League there as well, but enter the giveaway as well, guys, at the top of the chat there. Go over and comment on that vid. That's it from me. Like, subscribe, comment, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and have yourself a great night. Great chat tonight, guys. Piggy loves you, and remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.